All right, welcome back, guys. This is Logan with West Desert Wheeler. In this video, we've got the Axial SCX 10 Pro, and we're going to be taking it up two of my favorite trails out here. The first one we're going to hit is actually part of a full-size trail. It was 2023's Trailbreaker Candyland, and it's going to take us up this crazy waterfall formation, and it's actually going to lead us over to the main trail that I wanted to drive today, which is Sidewinder. I recently named it that because I was out here and almost grabbed a Sidewinder. There's actually a video of that. It was when I was testing out my cut and shut Baja Pro X tires. At the very end, I almost grabbed a Sidewinder snake there. But the next time I came out to this area, about 20 feet from where I saw that Sidewinder, there's another like 6 foot long like gopher snake of some kind of danger noodle out here. But luckily that one wasn't a rattlesnake, and I don't think it was quite as dangerous, but I let him be, and then he slithered off into a crack in a wall and just vanished. So apparently snakes can do that out here, so that's neat. But we got our buddy Sydney out here with us. We're gonna be running the SCX Pro. Let's go have some fun and run the hard lines. As promised, there's Sydney. I could hear her behind me while I was recording. I don't know if you guys saw her or not. She was up there in that window, but regardless, here we go. Got the Axial Pro out here. I need to turn on my controller. There we go. Gonna try and quickly get through this trail as, like I say, the main one I want to focus on is Sidewinder. Nice, got a 2500 kV Holmes revolver in here with a Furatech, is it called the Python ESC? It's the 10th scale brushless ESC. Non-censored because it's a outrunner motor, which means the outside of the motor actually turns. I put a sticker on there so you can kind of see it spinning around inside the cab. It's got Baja, it's got Proline Super Swamper 1.9 tires. They are 4.75 tall. They got those really pretty Spec RC wheels and some gold scale hardware on there. Lots of good stuff. But outside of that, the truck is pretty much as Axial Pro as it gets. The changes I've made to this truck are carbon fiber rails and brass knuckles, but those are Axial parts. They're available from Axial. So you take their competition-minded truck and then you put a lighter chassis in it with the carbon rails, heavy front knuckles to give it a forward weight bias, lower center of gravity. I've got it locked into the 40% underdrive, and you get quite a good performing truck. My tires are squeezing out some water. I recently had it out on a waterfall trip and drove it through some water, but we've got SL3D RC squid inserts in there. So I'm not scared of the water. I don't have to worry about my foams getting smelly and degrading over time. These 3D printed inserts don't give a crap about water, so that's pretty cool. Now we're getting to one of the hardest spots on the trail. Let's see how the Pro handles it. Here we go. This section is steep and it's got some moss on it as well. And it can be tricky to make this vertical climb. So you end up slipping tires here. Ooh, that's climbing really well actually. You end up just kind of side hilled out right there, and it'll pull you up and over. And that's typically been the line that works for me. Now this truck has like a 3.5 degree angle skid. So when you get on a hard breakover, the angle of that skid is low in the front and high in the back. So ideally, if you get up on like a 90 degree breakover, once you get the forward edge of the truck to drop over the front, it should help you in getting the truck to slide up and over the breakover. Okay, we're missing our mark here. This truck's got those purple anodized Spec RC wheels, and just a little flash in there you can see the breast cancer awareness servo horns from Vanquish as well. Thought that went nice together. Then the body has been painted with a little stripe of gold, so I've got my gold D's Company shock bands in there. Those are elastic bands that they're not limiting straps, and they're elastic, so they help hold the nose of the truck down. They hold the chassis to the front axle. This is a crazy looking way we've approached this here. I've never seen any other rig do that. But talking about that angled skid, we got the front forward weight of the truck across that breakover. Now we just got to drag that rear up. Worked perfectly. Now we just got to make sure we get down this hill safely. We're up above a pretty big waterfall and we don't want to lose it. But I think the pros got it. Very nice. Now we get to go up the really cool canyon over here, so let's go check that out. I've been trying to keep up with all the live streams that the different channels have going on through the week, and one of them I try and catch is Vanquish Products live stream. And the guys over there, they put on a good live stream. It's definitely entertaining to check out, and they also drop like lots of information as far as upcoming projects and past ones and sharing information and stuff. But one of them, they did a theme of a show, which is like their favorite VS410 builds. And they had Brandon and Josh on, Josh from Harley Designs. Brandon is a designer at Vanquish Products. And Brandon chose my old Toyota pickup VS410 build as one of his favorites. Now there's a lot of really cool builds out there, and I take that as a big compliment, so thank you very much, Brandon. But the reason I bring all that up is I had driven my Toyota through this canyon as part of my video I made on it, and they were just talking about how it was a cool area. So this is where it was shot, and that was with my old Sage Toyota pickup. 1987 Toyota extra cab hard body build from RC 4-wheel drive on a VS410 chassis. Definitely a fun truck. Nice, the Pro got that done nice and easy. Made it look good. So I've kind of intentionally not been changing a whole lot on my SCX Pro here. Like, I built it with those carbon rails and the brass weights, and I haven't really changed much outside of that. I added some D's bands a few weeks after I built it, but I like D's Company's bands on just about all my builds. So definitely check out D's Company. But I also want to compare this against some of the other product offerings out there, like the Vanquish VRD Carbon or the Stance. Perhaps the Red Cat Fusion is more of a competitor now. But I wanted to get a good feel for it in the straight axle configuration. Axial was kind enough to send me the portal conversion for this, which is essentially these same exact axles, but with portal boxes attached to the ends of them, which ends up making them a wider axle. So I want to run this truck and do some video comparisons straight axle against the other trucks, and then swap to portals and see how I like the truck after that. Good stuff, Pro. Let's get our front end pointed uphill. Nice little hop. And then a big steep drop. We're gonna go down in reverse to keep our forward weight to help us control the truck on our way down. We're gonna have to throttle out. Super smooth, predictable, made it easy. These are just the last few obstacles here on that Candyland trail. And then it's gonna drop us out right into the beginning of Sidewinder here in about 30 feet. And that's where things will start getting real interesting with this truck. On our rear diff. Oh, come on, Pro, we already got past this point. Okay, our sliders are hurting us here. They're pretty wide. And with a straight axle truck, it puts the sliders closer to the ground than if it were a portal build, typically. Nice. We were able to wiggle our way through, but did get hung up on those sliders pretty hard. To help give you guys some perspective, there's that white patch of rocks down there. That's right where we filmed the beginning and start. Worked our way up the canyon along the rock wall. We went up through the canyon, which is on the far side of this formation here. So we came up that canyon, and then we wrapped around, and then just came across this flat area off camera. Here's our Pro, and this is the start of Sidewinder. And so this is gonna go up, play on some rocks and boulders in here. Then we're gonna zigzag and go across the edge, end up on top, and then we're gonna go on the back side of this formation, drop down into that rock and come back up to the top. So there's a little bit of an idea of how these trails run. This obstacle is no stranger to my channel. I've featured it on there many times. I've done some tire tests on here. I've driven different rigs through it. Ideally, we're gonna wanna get our front left tire hooked on that top ledge. But depending on your wheelbase and your width, it may not work out. And you gotta get the rears to pinch and hold you in just right. This is kind of a cheater way to do it. Our Reefs right, 100 LP in there. Now the Furatech ESC on this does go up to 8.4 volts, 8.3 or something. It gives you more voltage output, which is awesome. Ooh, those front tires really hooked in and had a good bite right there. That was cool. So you get additional voltage to your good servos through this ESC to get more power out of them without an external BEC. So that's really cool. As if you guys were wondering why I would name this trail Sidewinder, I can see a snake over here. Stay, Sydney. This is not a rattlesnake. This is not the same gopher snake I saw though. This is a smaller one. The other snake I saw was right here. So these two are like maybe a male and a female. I don't know. I mean, he's chilling right there. See his head? And then he's slithered up around here. He's got like a red tail. Long body. He's just chilling dead still. Doesn't want me to know I'm here. Doesn't want me to know he's here, but I see him. I knew where to look. So last time I was here, a snake slithered up into that crack and just disappeared. Like a snake bigger than this did. So there's some kind of I don't know, snake housing in there that they just get to go hang out in. So we're gonna leave him alone. We're gonna keep running our trail. We're gonna keep an eye on this animal because I don't need her getting into any trouble with snakes. Now, while those other snakes are not sidewinders, the first one I saw definitely was. They look like a small rattlesnake, and then they've got horns on their head. And they're more aggressive in my experience than like diamondback rattlesnakes. A lot of people have asked if I've seen how often I see snakes out here. Truthfully, like this spring I've seen more than I've probably seen in the last year. But I keep returning to a similar area where I know that there are snakes. And big surprise, I keep seeing snakes. Sydney. So there you go, there's the exciting wildlife part of West Desert Wheeler. Okay, we got our vertical climb. We're not lined up where we want to be. There we go. Maybe one more of those. Nice, got up the harsh break over there. That's a really difficult climb. That's one of the most difficult on this trail. And then we got a nasty breakover up top here because the back just is a steep downhill and it's a steep uphill as well. So you gotta give her some throttle to get her belly up and over. Okay, we kind of hit that point that's proud on that rock. That was pretty close. This is where I want to bump, is this angle right here. We got pretty good wheel speed on 3S with 2,500 kV. Woo! Okay, pretty lucky bounce is what that was, but we got out of there, so didn't end up having to fight that breakover too hard. Now I'm going to show you guys two different lines here. Traditionally, with other RCs I've driven up here, you would get that front right. Hey, what are you eating? Drop it. Probably freaking bones of something that an owl shit out or something. So traditionally, you get that front right hooked up here and help pull the truck up. But this truck doesn't seem to like that line all that much. So like normally that hook would hold you on, and this one, I don't know if it's just the width or the straight axles or what. It does not like that. So I end up running this one just kind of like an off-camber V-notch, and it drives right up. And then we're gonna take a hard right and then a hard left. We're gonna sneak it in just a little further. We're gonna use that slider to our advantage here. I always like that left turn out of that. I think it's super cool. Pro made it look good. It has its own line, but man, it works really well on that line. I'm making sure this Yahoo stays next to me. All right. This one can be tricky. The Pro showed issues with this last time I had it out. It kept getting stuck on its front diff. And it seemed to like just a little more momentum on the drop instead of a super slow crawl. So we'll just keep it rolling. Yep, it's on its front diff there. Didn't make it. I know it can, but I also know that it's tricky. Okay, there we go. I think we got her this time. Whew, man, that's a tough drop with anything. And this Pro in particular really seems to not like it. Hello, Mr. Lizard. Hanging out in the cracks, running the hard lines. He's like, no way, is that an Axial SCX Pro? Okay, let's get our front tire up. No, missed our mark. Now our rear end's getting shifted off to the side, which is probably not ideal. It'll help us get our pinch, but when it comes time for the rear to come up, you may not love it. This Lizard's just taking in the show, man. He's enjoying it. We got our rear right where we want it, actually. We're losing our line, damn it. I thought I was just gonna drive up that. Okay, we got it this time. Come on. There we go, wrap around the wall. Sick. It's a very fun truck, very capable, very comp ready. Sydney decided to grab herself a stick and lay in the shade. So, seems like a good place for her. We're gonna keep running our Sidewinder Trail. There's a couple options up here. We're gonna run the stupid way, which is more of the buggy line, but I pulled it off pretty clean with my Pro the other day, so we'll see how she does. Oh, our snake friend is moving. Yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Snake's cruising up into there. Like I say, just disappeared into that hole. Who knows where that went? But you know, don't let that haunt your dreams or anything. So, here we go. We're gonna take a nice little drop. Here's a harsh breakover drop. Sydney. Leading edge of the skid, but just the right smoothness from those links to the front edge of the skid that it was able to slip forward. So that's nice. Okay, this is where this part of the trail just gets a little silly and borderline stupid. We've got this like 12-inch vertical drop, and we're kind of just gonna fall off of it. And then we're gonna have to battle our way out. I don't think I quite want to drop in yet. Okay, so we're sideways, using our servo. The key is not to throttle too hard once it gets very, very bound. That's actually my good angle. Fight it with some servo wiggling. You can turn down and back up a little bit to help level it out. Okay, our truck's just about level. I want to get it to square up and land on the face on the left. Okay, you get it to rotate. It's a very delicate balance here, because you also don't want to flip over. Okay, we've got it shifted from the right side to the left side, but now I need to get my front end up this wall. And getting it to do that is not going to be easy. We kind of need that rear to be bound up. Hey, there we go. Like I say, it's a buggy line, but the Pro can do it, and it did it reasonably clean. Like, I'm able to get it to do that repeatably, which is a line, right? If I can repeatedly do it, then good enough. So now we're gonna do a crazy drop and side hill, and we're on the edge of a cliff, and Sydney's wondering where the hell I'm going. But we're gonna head over here. Big consequences if you get it wrong. I'm gonna get down below the truck to play catcher if I need to. All right, guys, here we go. Breeze just kicked up. It is calling for wind today, so I knew I had to get out here as early as I could and get some video shot before the audio goes in trash. But it's really cool how just those two perfect, they're difficult but possible drops. And then we follow this rock face down. And we've got just this little around the horn, just a perfect little rock ledge that has just enough room for a car to get through. Stay on the throttle to keep that front right in the wall. Get up through here and side hill. I've played in that V-crack. It's really hard to get it to go where I want, so we'll just avoid it for right now. We're just about to the end of our Sidewinder Trail. So we got our awesome view and big cliff edge, probably a solid 45, 50 feet. climb. It's not too difficult, not too technical, just enough room for a truck. And then the backside drop gets real spicy. I showed my buddy Tyson this line the other day, and he was yelling at me, saying, "Logan, where the hell are you making me go?" Because I tend to find the stuff to get you going a little bit. So, big drop, nothing to stop the truck. And then we're gonna drop off a serious ledge. Taller than the tires. There it is. Get the rears down. Whoo! I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm in no place or shape. Move, Sydney. To be able to catch that truck. So if it had fallen, it would be gone. Okay, there it is. So you could drive further downhill to a shorter drop, but it's actually an off-camber landing and more likely to roll you. So I'm gonna stay higher and go down a bigger drop, but it's a flat landing. So it's just a safer option, really. Out of two bad choices, this is slightly less bad. But I like this trail, man. It's difficult. It's challenging. It's scary. You might get bit by a poisonous snake. Venomous? Venomous or I think it's venomous snake. Poison is something you eat that's bad. Venom is something that, I don't know, poisons you. Such a dumbass. All right. Full throttle. There we go. And then kind of down to our last real obstacle. From here, we're just going to climb back up the hill we drove down. And we'll be on our way. On the SCX Pro, we'll have done it again. A little throttle out. There we go. We're out of here, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Check out D's company, check out Spec RC, SL3D RC, Axial, of course. My friends at Sky RC, Reefs RC. Thanks so much to Reefs for all their support on the channel. Always appreciated. We'll see you guys next time. Keep the rubber side down.